What it do? It's DOA with another episode of Putting It Together. On these 601s today, Maduros. You know I love them 601s. Really like that Warhead, but it's all good. I fuck with 601. We gonna switch it up a little bit from what I've been doing on these videos lately. You know I've been on them alchemical steps. Read the Emerald Tablets on the last episode. Now we gonna go back to a little bit of this mainstream media news. I know a lot of y'all done seen LeBron James and Stephen A. with this make-believe beef, this made-for-TV beef that they've been having over Bronny being in the NBA or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Stephen A. made some critical comments about the way LeBron James handled it, his son getting into the NBA, and supposedly, allegedly, LeBron ran up on him like they really had real beef at the game. But we're going to take a deep dive into it, or, you know, a somewhat deep dive into it and see what's really going on with this made-for-TV beef. So, this kind of piggybacks off of another video I did, an earlier video, which was that Mike Rubin all-white party. Y'all remember I touched on that all-white party, showed how Mike Rubin had all these athletes and entertainers bunny hopping around for him, Meek Mill's bunny hopping for him and shit. Little baby getting groped on by him and shit like that. So, in a roundabout way, we right back to that. Because the thing about that video was that Mike Rubin had affiliations with a company called WME, which was William Morris Think Entertainment or something to that effect. The company is now called Endeavor, the Endeavor Group. And they was tied in with Fanatics and Ancestry.com, and man, the list goes on. Y'all need to go watch that video if you ain't seen it already. That'll kind of catch you up to speed to what it is that this Endeavor Group company is involved with. But lo and behold, Endeavor, that company's CEO is Ari Emanuel. Ari Emanuel is the brother of Rahm Emanuel, as a lot of you might know. Rahm Emanuel is Barack Obama's little butt buddy. He was involved in politics in Illinois. I think he might have even got a higher job at some point. But yeah, this was a dude who was pivotal in getting Obama elected. And there's also been allegations that Rahm Emanuel was a member of that country club that I touched on in the Obama video, when Obama was claiming he was fantasizing about men every day, and we got into some of the homosexual tendencies of Obama. Rahm Emanuel is a frequenter of this country club that Obama goes to in Chicago, where some of those homosexual allegations had occurred and stemmed from. So fast forward, Rahm Emanuel is a questionable dude, to say the least. Could probably fall in that same alleged category with Obama as far as their sexual preferences. And then this is his brother, Ari Emanuel, who's running the Endeavor Group, which is an agency that basically controls most of the entertainment and sports world. They got clients like Ben Affleck, and I mean the list is stupid long and strong on entertainers that are I guess what you just say, managed by this company. So one of these entertainers being Stephen A. Myth or Stephen A. Smith, he is actually managed by this company, the Endeavor Group. So we can surmise that Ari Emanuel pulled some of the strings behind Stephen A. Smith, right? So this is important because at this game where LeBron ran up on Stephen A., 3 seats down was none other than Ari Emanuel himself sitting there. Well, on LeBron's side of the coin, Ari Emanuel was the dude who was responsible for putting that press conference together for LeBron. You know, LeBron said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. When he left Cleveland and went to Miami, it was Ari Emanuel who orchestrated that whole press conference and all of that shit. He was the one that was behind that. And he championed it. He was in favor of LeBron's decision and the publicity going along with that decision. Ari Emanuel is also a major string puller behind LeBron James's career in the NBA and some of these endeavors that he goes into as far as movies and all of that. Ari Emanuel's got some say-so in that himself. So you could almost say he's like a boss. He's a boss of Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. Meanwhile, he's sitting 3 seats down from Stephen A. courtside at this game, and LeBron runs up on Stephen A. doing this whole performance, this theatrical performance. Look, talking about my son and all that shit that he was doing with Stephen A. And 3 seats down is both of their boss or string puller to both of them. You know what I'm saying? So this would be like you and one of your coworkers at work having some type of fallout or some beef. Y'all almost get to throwing blows or some shit, and you at work and the boss is standing right next to you. Now, nobody gets reprimanded for this with the boss right there on site. So we can surmise that this is something that the boss was in favor of. He condoned it, he stamped it, he gave it a pass, or he orchestrated it himself. You see what I'm saying? And he was there to make sure that it went off the way that he orchestrated it. That's what it looked like to me. Okay? So we already know Stephen A., meanwhile, is a member of Omega Psi Phi, right? Omega Psi Phi being a Boule organization. And a Boule is, what do you call it? Like servants to the king. They taking orders from the king. These is niggas who's taking orders from these higher up Masonic families. These is Boule organizations, the Black Greek organizations. Stephen A is a member of Omega Psi Phi, which y'all might know as the Q Dogs or whatever. You know, you got people in there like Shaq, Steve Starvey, I think even Ricky Smiley might be a member. I know he's a member of one of them groups, but pretty much if you're a prolific dude in entertainment or news or whatever, and you black, you in one of these Greek organizations, right? Meanwhile, I don't know if y'all seen underneath LeBron's taco meat, the Taco Tuesday chess ass nigga, he's got a griffin, some type of griffin-like figure tatted on his chest. It's the same mascot, you could say, of Sigma Pi Phi, which is another Boule organization. So Omega Psi Phi is one that you either gotta be an honorary member of or you get into it when you were in college. We know LeBron didn't go to college, so Sigma Pi Phi is like a frat you can get into through your profession instead of having to be an actual college student or whatever. But they all boule. They all are Black Greek organizations who's taking orders from high up Masonic families and puppeteers. So you can basically say that these niggas is frat brothers, right? Now we'd think two frat brothers got into it live on TV and this wasn't orchestrated. The thing is about these high up Masonic families and organizations, you could call them Illuminati or whatever. I try not to use it because a lot of y'all going, hey, Illuminati, it ain't real, blah, blah, blah. Like, man, I ain't about to argue that on this video. So you could say these high up Masonic families, one of the tenets of these families is order out of chaos. So they create chaos to squeeze order out of it. Like there's basically a method to their madness. And this looks like one of them orchestrated events where they can create order out of this alleged chaotic like situation of LeBron running up on Stephen A, his frat brother, you know, live on camera. Now, on top of that, back to Ari Emanuel in the Endeavor Group also owns the WWE. Now, I bring that up because after this little incident debacle happened, Stephen A, of course, goes on all the platforms allotted to him, and he's talking about it, and I was about to swing on LeBron, and all this and that, all this shit, trying to make himself seem tough and seem like he's relevant to the urban community in some way. I guess if that's what that does. But where did LeBron go to air his grievances? He went on the Pat McAfee show. Now, for those of you that don't know, of course, Pat McAfee was a punter in the NFL, but Pat McAfee really made his bones and created his following by being in the WWE. So this is another dude who's taking orders from Ari Emanuel on some level. He's getting his play calls from Ari Emanuel, you could say, in the Endeavor Group, because they own the WWE. So all of this is being done on ESPN, because Stephen A. Smith was, of course, on ESPN. Pat McAfee's on ESPN, and they try to make it seem almost as if there's a little race war between Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith. When I mean, they gotta be in cahoots to some degree because they work in conjunction with each other on the same network. Meanwhile, ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney, now, if you ain't a fool, all of us should all know that Disney is one of them satanic companies, satanic organizations. Walt Disney was alleged to have been having inappropriate relationships with some of the actors that worked under Disney. I think the dude's name Bobby Driscoll. He I believe committed suicide or something to that degree. Don't quote me on that. All this is alleged, of course. But Walt Disney was said to have an affinity for this little boy, this underage boy, when he was an actor under Disney. Amongst other things, me coming up when I did, you know what I'm saying, in the 90s, 80s, 90s, whatever, watching that Disney stuff, there was a whole uncovering of Disney putting lots of demonic images and sexually promiscuous type images, mixing them into the cartoons and all of that. I mean, for those of you that didn't come up in that time, y'all can look it up on your own time. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to find because, of course, Endeavor Group, Disney, they got their claws in the media, in the information sector. So when they want something covered up, it's easy for them to get shit covered up. So you might have to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of arm work to uncover that information. But if you want to know more about it, man, please feel free to go look it up. I'm trying to keep this video a little bit short, so I ain't gonna go too deep in it. But they all are working under Disney, who we know is a satanic type, Masonic type group, allegedly, right? So the WWE, of course, is known for causing these. They make their money off of these made-for-TV fights and battles and arguments and shit. And lo and behold, this looked like a WWE argument between Stephen A. and LeBron. Looked like something that you might see Vince McMahon, you know what I'm saying, moderating this type of argument or whatever. And yeah, Jason Whitlock, I don't know if y'all watch him or not, but he alleges that the reason why they creating this chaos, the order to come from this chaos, is that they want to increase Stephen A's brand with people who are against LeBron James. So like, kind of like the conservative community, they want Stephen A to gain some validation with the conservative community by standing up to LeBron James, because he thinks that they want to run Stephen A for president. And I do see the validity in what Jason Whitlock is saying that they might be cooking up, because they've been having Stephen A on all these conservative type platforms like Megyn Kelly, and I can't even think of the dude's names right now, but you can look it up and see that Stephen A been making a tour on conservative platforms, and it seems like they might be gearing them up to do something politically. But let's see. Also, Endeavor Group owns the UFC, and I don't know if y'all remember when Dana White had got into that little trouble when he slapped up his wife and shit, and they caught that on camera. One of his biggest sympathizers was Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. was on ESPN like, oh yeah, Dana's my friend, Dana is this, Dana is that, and he was pretty much caping for him. And so you can see how everybody under this Endeavor umbrella is always looking out for one another, caping for one another, and rarely do you see them having real beef of any type, because the puppeteer behind them is all the same person. So it wouldn't be conducive to have two of his employees actually fighting, not in the public's eye, of course, but if he can create some order out of chaos, then you know he's all for it, being that he's the one controlling the WWE, which is pretty much just a huge platform for that type of chaos being created. Now, on top of this, the other I don't know if he's the CEO, but he's pretty much second in command, or the right-hand man of Ari Emanuel, and that's Patrick Whitesell. Now, Patrick Whitesell, I was briefly looking at him, and his ex-wife was Lauren Sanchez. And Lauren Sanchez is the little, I don't know if she's Hispanic looking witch that be rolling around with Jeff Bezos now. She had went to the inauguration, had the cones out, had the cans on display, and they got a still shot of Zuckerberg. The Zuckerberg bot had zoomed in on them cans when she had the cleavage out and shit, right? Now, this is interesting to me that people, men of this stature, who's got this amount of money and all of these resources and access, why are y'all passing around this same little chick? This same little build-a-body chick, Lauren Sanchez, she done been with you and Bezos. White Cell and Bezos. Why y'all passing around this little builder body chick? That's like some lightweight homosexual type acts in itself that y'all could have pretty much any woman in the world, but y'all keep passing around this one chick. I find it odd that all y'all want to keep messing with this one chick. It's giving strap-on work. You know what I'm saying? It's giving homosexual on the low. You want your secrets kept on the low. That's what it's giving to me. Now, when you got men of that stature who all want to pass around this same one chick or a couple few chicks, that to me look like these chicks might be doing something behind the closed doors of the bedroom that y'all want to keep under wraps, like pegging these dudes, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if she got the biggest strap on. No. Now, I say that to say that it seems like this little fraternity of men's, LeBron included, Stephen A included, all of them allegedly look like homosexuals to me. Now, Mike Rubin, y'all, back to the Mike Rubin party. He obviously looks like some type of homosexual, allegedly. Like, that's the way he looks because he's hugging up on men all the time. Y'all can look at the pictures of him hugged up on men, gazing in men's eyes. Now, LeBron James, he looks allegedly homosexual to me as well because y'all just seen DJ Academics bust him out in this Drake beef that he had with Drake when he was dancing to Kendrick Lamar's song, and Drake got mad. They looked like they had a breakup, a public breakup between LeBron James and Drake. But DJ Academics had told us that they was running a 3-man weave on white girls in Canada. You know what I'm saying? Drake was setting it up. These niggas is having sexual, sexual relations with these skinny ass white chicks all in a room together. You and another man and some white bitches in a room. Y'all doing some sex capades. You know what I'm saying? Now, to me, that's a precursor to homosexuality right there. I'm not doing nothing sexual in a room with another man. Not at this stage in my life. Like, okay, if you was, 18 or something like that, okay, maybe you did, tried it out once, didn't like it, moved on, right? These niggas is 40 years old having sexual relations in the same room at the same time, and y'all niggas is billionaires. Y'all having sex with these little bitty bony boy body white girls together. You know what I'm saying? Then you can see in the pictures Drake gazing into LeBron's eyes, and these motherfuckers always hugged up. We already know that LeBron was going to them Diddy parties with the and we know what Diddy do. You know what I'm saying? Diddy been poking on boys to men, not actual boys to men, but he been poking on everything from boys to men for a long time. Now he got caught up. We know LeBron's a frequenter of Diddy's parties. He been hugged up with Drake. These is all questionable men as far as homosexuality goes. You know what I'm saying? And he's in one of these little frats, and y'all know how the frat brothers and shit, man. Y'all know how they get down. But I just wanted to make them connections so y'all could see, man. As always, it's peace and love and light. To the next episode, y'all. Peace.